run it back.
We're about 40 points as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Go. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. 180.
Mike 56.
White.
Alert three. Deuce.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
I got you.
Mike check 33.
Man out.
Slam.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3 and out. And for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing. Wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to get.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan, he gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kevin Pierre-Louis. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Garoppolo now. Flushed out right. Over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. They're also liking the...
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? So who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
13 yards there and a Niner first. On first down, here's Breida. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
We want it. Come to my work. Hey, check Mike 33.
Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last.
One, Omaha.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Ryan. Forced out to his left. Airing it out. He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for the Saints. 67 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Hooked by Tarvarius Moore. And this one... will be brought back to the 22.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
56. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Breida only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Breida. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. From the 22, Stick is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down. Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They're going to go play action now with Stick. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Watch twist.
Greystone, Travis. Hey, exit.
Here's Stick, 3rd and long. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Set, ready? Hey, zoom. 15 line. 15 line. Let go.
Off play action, it's Stick. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down.
Big stop, let's go.
X3, 218, chop.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
18, Gator. General West.
Quick dash. Come.
A shotgun throw for Stick. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second and goal, Stick, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill as the first half is winding down, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown. So they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Ready?
1st and 10, Stick. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Squeeze, double.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He finds Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Deep ball for Goodwin. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stick. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
21.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Hill on the return. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. That punt returned 69 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
The extra point hits the left upright, but goes through anyway. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Escaping the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Man, pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. Second down coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Yeah, let's get that ball.
Now Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stick, and that'll be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, high 7.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 55.
On 3rd down, it's Stick. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Mike check 33.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now Cohen. "38 yards on the scamper there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards there on the catch and run. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
On 1st down, Murray. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down. To the game with a score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter.
And the ball is knocked out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Nifty move. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. This is Coleman with a grab. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 84 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the fourth, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. Now Stick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Stick from the gun. Looking long for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here comes Pettis on the return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that in this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. On first down, Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
It's going to be a long day. 57. Mike, 50.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Leonard Floyd, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last says, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where,
under pressure, they got him again. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he'll be taken down, but they